Welcome to the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. The podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth a million. GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas on the brink of Happy New Year. And joining me from Los Angeles, IFBB Figure Pro, Naomi Marshall.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I appreciate you and thank you for asking me to do this.
Not at all. You sent me a message and told me a little bit about your story. Very inspiring. And without further ado, tell everyone about that story, who you are, and let us get to know you.
hmm well, I mean, when you reached out, I said if I tell my story, I want to tell the other side too, which is, that I do have breast cancer currently. Well, actually,
Mhm.
today I found out that I am cancer free because I had surgery 2 weeks ago. Cancer free as far
Outstanding.
as the surgery part, but I did, they said based on the type of cancer it is, I do need radiation and chemotherapy still. So
Okay. So when were you diagnosed with having breast cancer in conjunction with your training and competing? And did we lose her? Uh, Hopefully we'll get her back here in a second. Uh, 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 Bring her back in. This happens when you go on live, but nothing you can do about it. Let me text her real quick. And we'll give her a few moments. But what a story to be going through breast cancer and breast cancer treatment. She's had the surgery, and right now they're saying she's cancer free. But of course, she's got to do radiation slash chemo. And when she reached out to me, I thought, what an inspiring story to be able to do this and still have the fire to compete. So hopefully we'll be able to get her back in a second. Give her a few moments. Mm, mm. It looks like we may have lost her. Mm, mm. We'll give it a few moments here. We'll give it a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and see if we can get her back. Hey, back.
Hey, yes. Well, we're about to have a storm here in
Okay.
California, so our internet is kind of acting wonky because of the weather here.
I was wondering. I was like, I bet you that's what it is.
Yes, the
Hey,
weather.
when you live, things like that happen. It just is what it is. But that's
Yeah,
the beauty of being live instead of being pre-recorded, so that you don't come off fake. You come off as authentic as possible. But go ahead and finish your story. We pick it up where you were first diagnosed with breast cancer.
yeah. So I was diagnosed in September, which I was preparing to do a show in November. So
Hmm.
I got diagnosed at the end of September, and of course, I knew I wasn't going to be able to step on stage because I didn't exactly know what was happening. It was going to be my pro debut.
Hmm.
So so I had to like postpone it because I didn't know. But
Right.
now, with more information and seeing other women who are and have been going through the same experience as me, I feel like I'm going to stick to the fact that my goal is 2026, and I'm not putting a date on it, but I know I'm going to hit it, and just figure out how to make it happen. Just take it day by day, you know.
Right.
So
What did
that's
your coach say when you were diagnosed?
well. I sat him down and I was just like, look, we do have another teammate going through the same struggle as me, differently. There's
Hmm.
forms of breast cancer, but I told him I wanted a diet that would reflect how to kill the cancer cells and change the diet. I gave him a list of foods that are good for um, not spreading the cancer and shrinking the cancer and stuff like that. So, and yeah, he created a meal plan for me that was based on the food choices that I can eat, and also keep growing and growing and building as much as I can, or at least keeping on what I put on, because this took a long time to get here to put this amount of muscle on, and I don't
Yeah.
want I want to try to keep what I have and stuff. So I know there's a way. I just have to
Hmm.
stay positive and know that there's a way to make it happen. And if not, I'll finish the treatments I need to do and then step on the stage after that. However, I'm just trying to stay positive and
Right.
stick to my goals that I've set for myself, and not allowing. It's like I tell my students all the time, not allowing factors in life to keep you from achieving the goals that you want. It's like life isn't perfect and things are going to happen, but I'm not going to be woe is me. I'm going to figure out how to turn it into something positive and stuff. So that's what I get to do.
I really appreciate you coming on and telling your story. It's very inspirational. So everything went to all stop in September. You had how long ago have you had the surgery, and what type of surgery
Two
was
weeks
this?
ago.
Okay.
So yeah, so I had a partial mastectomy, and I also had my lymph nodes removed as
Okay.
well. Yeah.
And how are
So
you feeling? How are you healing?
I'm healing great because part of it is peptides too.
Yeah.
Taking peptides to help. So I did, for the healing as far as the scars and stuff like that, the tissue and everything like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that part, the healing part is great. It's more the
Mhm.
mental struggle, and like lifting is what I keep. It's like my peace. It's what helps me
Mhm.
have peace, and when I
Mhm.
can't do something physical and lift weights, I think it's the more of the mental struggle that I'm dealing with. That part is challenging sometimes, and I get to have family and friends remind me to sit down and not move and
Yeah.
rest and everything like that. But
Well, it's a credit to
it's hard.
how good the shape you were in that helped with the healing. And take me back through what did the doctor say in reference to you competing now, or are they saying stop until further notice, or
No. So my doctor said not to compete and wait, and to just go through the process and then compete afterwards. But doctors don't. They're not bodybuilders. They don't even know the world of bodybuilding. They don't.
no, no,
They're when they saw me and saw like my leanness and they saw my body, it was like shocking to them. So it's like doctors. I listen to a certain degree, but I
Right.
think when you're a competitor and you truly like to compete, you're always an extremist. Like we're not gonna
Right.
just there's no balance. It's like if you want to win, you come in with the mindset that yeah, you have to do something to the extreme, and there's no balance in being a competitor. You know, you
Right.
put a lot into what you do, and that part won't change in me. So I
Mhm.
can only listen. I feel like research, and I do a lot of research. I do, like what foods to eat that can help,
Mhm.
and trying to have a diet and maybe making some adjustments to my diet and stuff. But I can't just go 100% what the doctors say. You know,
Right.
yeah.
So when
I,
are you looking at starting radiation, or have they set a schedule?
they haven't set a schedule for the oncologist that does chemo because there's two oncologists, one for radiation and one for
Mhm.
chemotherapy. And so my chemotherapy doctor wants me to start at the end of January. But what I'm choosing to do, like I talked to her just last week and I told her like what I want to do is just focus on my diet and focusing on just holistic health first and
Mhm.
waiting a few weeks and seeing what happens. But today, since I talked to my breast surgeon, she said there's like no cancer there. She was able to get all the cancer cells out. And what they do is test to see
Mhm.
how aggressive the cancer is that you do have. And that
Right.
determines like chemo and radiation. So as far as today, I found out I don't have any cancer in my body right now. But she said, of course, there could be some that are floating in there. And
That's excellent.
yeah, and then she said that just because it's aggressive, the kind that I have is aggressive, that she recommended without a doubt for sure that I needed radiation and chemotherapy. Um, but ultimately, it's my decision on how I go about doing it. I'm in agreement. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to do it, but I feel like, I want to be as healthy as possible, making sure I'm having the proper nutrition before going in because, chemo kills everything. It don't just kill the cancer cells.
Right. Yeah.
So I have to be mindful of that.
Well, it's definitely a cancer that's ran through my family and lost family members as well. Breast cancer, colon cancer, and then of course all my brothers, including myself, and it was prostate cancer. So it's just one of those things. A lot of it's linked to family and hereditary, but you hate having it. I hate seeing people going through it and losing loved ones behind that. And so I can really sympathize with what you're going through.
Yes, and I did find out mine isn't hereditary, which is a blessing. So, I
Good.
have a 21-year-old daughter, so I
Yes. Yeah.
tell her it's not hereditary, so it's nothing that she has to worry about as far as that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean that's what the doctor said. She's like, right now it's stage three. I have stage three, and she
Okay.
said it could get worse. So this is why we strongly recommend it. You
Early
know,
detection is the key.
Yeah, because before there was like a stage two. Of course, after
Mhm.
the results come back, and it's so interesting that for breast cancer, not for all cancers, but for breast cancer, they have this way of once they get the results, they have some type of data that will tell them if I
Mhm.
have chemotherapy, what percentage of it will come back based on getting chemotherapy versus not. So it's like if I don't get chemotherapy, what's the chances of it coming back? So that's the results I'm waiting for me to make like a final decision is what's the percentage that it'll come back if I do or don't get treatment, So and then that will at least help me make a decision on what I do moving forward. You know,
That's
it's like
great.
I want to be my own. I need to advocate for myself what I really want, and
Yes, you do.
and
You do.
so I want to do that with knowledge, not just because of how I feel, but
Mhm.
knowledge of making the right decision that's for me.
Right. And in a way, you got to live to live. You already was in the lifestyle, and pretty much a large of you being in such good shape got you through this. There's no question. Because had you been out of shape and not been taking care of yourself, who knows? Could have went the other way. So You got to look at it
True.
that way.
Definitely true. I mean, when she checked my incisions and stuff, she couldn't believe how like someone's completely healed, and for she was
Hmm.
completely shocked about. But yeah, it is an testament to being in shape and stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember when I got my PET scan done, and the doctor says that when they did the PET scan, they were saying I never seen anyone so lean before, like do the PET scan
Hmm.
because they couldn't believe how I didn't have that much body fat. They were really shocked about that and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's important, even if you get diagnosed with something, it's health is important.
Yes, it
Can't
is.
prevent you can't prevent anything. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen. But you want to be still be in the best shape that you possibly can be. You know.
Well, one thing about it, now you got an excuse to go get breast augmentation, right?
Well,
You
no,
just
I didn't want that.
didn't.
No, I told
Okay.
because I got a partial one. They gave me an option. I can either get a
Right.
full mastectomy or a partial one.
Okay.
Um, I chose not to do a full one because, yeah, I'm I just want to stay all natural.
I got you. Well, in
But
this case, I mean, hey, I'm just saying.
you know why? This might be a little bit too much, but the reason why is I wanted to keep my nipple.
So,
I didn't want to lose it.
I mean, they
Like,
can put,
yeah, I would have implants, but I wouldn't have a nipple. And I was like, what do I
they
want?
can't put those on.
You're not gonna get sensitivity and feel like the feel of
Yeah,
it. Like for
I
me,
got
that was more important. I didn't care about the size. I care about
you.
one
I
day
got you.
I needed to have the sensitivity. I
I
just felt
got you.
like I was born with it. If I could keep them, I
Yeah,
want to keep
makes sense. I'm so
them.
glad we can have a laugh about it, and I'm so thankful that you're doing better than on the men for sure. Uh, Changing subjects, you are a math teacher. Tell me about that.
Well, actually, I am a special education teacher, but I got credentialed in both math and special education, and
Okay.
I did math for 10 years, and I realized like in education, what students need, especially a Title I school, like
Hmm.
because primarily that's the schools I work through, they need people who care. They need people
Right.
who can have conversation and help them and guide them to make better choices in their lives and stuff. And I felt like using my special education credential would help me do that more because I could work with students one-on-one versus in a classroom of 30. And then I could
Hmm.
send them off to my colleagues to have them do the academic component as far
Right.
as, I get to be an advocate for my students. So I deal with students with more like mild to moderate um, disability, so they're out in the regular classrooms and stuff. And I feel like I am an advocate for my students. I want to make sure that they get the best education, but also emotionally get the best that they can, because life is hard, and I feel like this new generation, especially now, I've been teaching for
Yeah.
almost 20 years, but especially I would say with the new generation now after COVID, the increase of students having anxiety,
Hmm.
having, just can't leave the house. It's rampant now because the high schoolers I'm working with were once, they were in the elementary schools when this happened.
Hmm.
So it has definitely had a major effect on them. So I feel like special education allows me to be an advocate, also show students I care because I get to work with them one-on-one now, you
Right.
know, and they don't have enough educators that I think everyone cares, but really, really giving them that attention that they really need to make sure that teachers are also therapists. So
Hmm.
I have to put
You have
myself,
to wear a lot of hats, and I'm definitely
I
going
wear a
through
lot of hats.
high school as well. But you're there in Compton, California.
Not anymore. I worked at Compton High School for 10 years, but now,
Wow.
yeah, now I'm in Oxnard. Yeah, I'm in Oxnard now. So
So pretty much
it's
considered inner city.
it's a different set of
Yeah.
similar problems, but then different because you have a lot of the parents who, are working out in the fields and stuff in Oxnard and everything.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
income
Yeah. Yeah.
level, yeah, their income level is really low. With ICE,
Yeah.
um,
That's been special here too, with
yeah,
all
I
the
mean
kids
they
just
have
not coming
buses
through
come.
together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kids
they
stop
have
coming
buses
to
come here to the fields here, like
uh-huh.
school buses to pick up the people that were working in the fields and stuff. So
Yeah.
we work with the students whose parents are out there and stuff. And there's a high population of people. Drugs is really rampant out in that
Mhm.
particular area and stuff. So
Right.
still working with students that need that extra love. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
work at a charter school, an independent study charter school, so I really get an opportunity to work one on one because that's what our school is set up to be.
Yeah, that was definitely a struggle for me this last semester dealing with the ELA students. And then, like I said, the issue of ICE, and then we had to have certain protocols on how to handle it, of course. And then, of course, you got the 504s and the IEP plans that you got to stick to and do the best you can with it. Um, there's just a lot of external factors, like you mentioned, yeah, COVID, external factors of ICE funding. It's like education has really been under attack for the last 2 years, and we
Hmm.
and it's hard being a teacher. So kudos to you, and yeah, I can sympathize with that because I've been going through it. So
Yeah, kudos to you too.
yeah, hey, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You choose to do it, and the ones that, like I said, you choose to do it because if you don't, then what's going to happen? So
Hmm.
it's a labor of love for sure, and hopefully it'll get better. And we just have to see. But yeah, if you don't do, if not you, then who? You know, easiest thing to do is quit. Say, oh well, this ain't for me. And yeah, you can make more money doing something else, but then at the same time, would you have the same impact? And sadly,
Exactly.
your impact won't be felt to maybe years down the line. You may never see it, but kids will see it. You know.
One thing is social media changes that because my students, I haven't worked at Compton in probably 8 years now, but my
Hmm.
students that I work with in Compton, yeah, it's like social media. They come in and reach out and
Good deal.
get to say thank you now that they're much older. Once they hit like about 25, they appreciate what you did.
Yeah.
But when I was at Compton, I was considered one of the mean teachers. Like, you're
Oh yeah.
mean teacher.
Yeah.
And I said, I care. Shoot,
Yeah.
I care.
I give
That's
a
why.
care about you.
And I wasn't mean. I was just strict. you know
Right.
but I'm strict now because I want you to be the best. I want to receive the best, and the only thing I could do is have high expectations and
You're right.
and do whatever it takes so you can meet that. And I feel I attest that to like being a bodybuilder. You have to have high expectations for yourself in order to win, because that's the goal, is to win, not just step on stage and compete, but compete at a high level where you know, you can you can say you put in the work in some shape or form. And winning is not necessarily coming in first place. Winning could be just being better than you were the last time you stepped on stage and stuff.
Exactly. How long have you been competing? And how did you get started with competing?
I did my first show in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just love being active. So I kind of was just like, I just love being active. Did the Spartan thing, did the CrossFit, did
Okay.
boot camps. I was just always a person to be active and everything like that. Did skiing growing up, track. I was a track runner in high school. So
Okay.
yeah, I was always a physical person. But my mom was a bodybuilder growing up, but she just did on
Oh
her own.
wow.
Yeah, she just did it on her own. She wasn't necessarily like a competitor or anything. She just
Yeah,
loved
but
the
still, so you already ingrown into it. Do you think you did
a
it because of
little.
your mom, or
Say it again.
you think you picked it up because of your mom, or no?
Not really. I just was like, I met my coach, and I was just like, I just want to have muscles. I was just skinny, you know, and
Yeah.
I was just like, I just want to be toned up, muscle, have a little bit of muscle. You know how that look where people see you and they're like, oh yeah, she work out. I wanted that look. Like, just give me the look like people
Right.
can see you work out, because there's people who work out and work
Hmm.
out regularly, but they don't look like they work out.
No,
That
they
was
don't.
me before became a bodybuilder. I worked out, but I wasn't like looking like I worked out.
Right. Right.
and I wanted to have that look. But when I met my coach, Jabbar, um, he was just like, you know what? If you really want to look like that, you just got to compete. You got to get into business,
Yeah.
like get
Yeah.
into it, and that kind of helps you to have that look. And so I was like, at the time, have been pregnant, got the stretch marks on the tummy, my tummy not
Mhm.
looking all nice. So I was like, I never was thinking about putting on a bathing suit. Oh no,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am not putting on no bathing suit. Like a bikini, like you got to show everything. Oh no, no,
Yeah.
no.
You're right. And you are
Yeah,
a figure. You're the very essence of physique of what they're looking for. So I mean, you guys got to pose. Uh,
yeah. That was the scary part for me. I was like, I don't wear bathing suits. I don't do that. And he was. But yeah, he said go to a show because of course I never been to a bodybuilding show. He said go
right.
to a show and after you leave the show, let me know what you think. And
Hmm.
I think by then he must have been coaching me for maybe like 6 or 7 months, maybe
Okay.
something like that. And I went and I was like, yeah, I want to try. So I knew the first time I came in fourth place, and fourth place sounds like, wow, you came in for fourth place your first show, but that was really last place.
Right.
So
Right.
I came in last place to my first show, and but I got the bug. Like I just was like, oh, I love this. I love this.
That's great.
I'm about to put the work in, and next time I step on stage, I'm coming in first place. That's what I told
Right.
myself. Like I'm going to do that. And yeah, 2018, 2000. So I took 2019 to put on muscle to
Hmm.
grow, and then 2020 hit, and that was the pandemic. So
Yeah.
but I
That
did a
shut a
show
lot
there.
of stuff down. Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'm doing a show. So I like did a show during a couple of actually I think 3 shows during the pandemic.
Hmm.
But so the second show was during the pandemic, and I came in first place. I forgot what muscle contest show that was, and then I did West Coast Classic when it was center
Yep.
podium, and
Hmm.
I came in second place, fourth, and fifth. I think second place was 35, and then 40 I came in fourth place, and I forgot I
Hmm.
won 3 medals. I can't remember what the other one was, but anyway, then that was it. I was like, I'm ready to do I'm ready to do a national show. So
Yeah.
like I'm done. I'm not no more doing these amateur. I'm about to step into a national show. So I
Good for
did,
you.
I did my first national show in 2022, and
Hmm.
Shaquille O'Neal you had on. I saw you had her on. She was at
Yeah.
she was, yeah, we competed against each other. She
Oh
was at
wow. Okay. Yeah.
we yeah,
Yeah. I
and
saw her when I hung the banner. I saw her click. She said yes. I said okay. So they must know each other.
yeah, we do. We know each other.
That's good
Yeah, but
stuff.
we did 2023 together. So 2022, I went there. I came in
Hmm.
fourth and fifth, no, fourth and sixth. And I was like, I'm coming back because I just was like, I'm about to kill it. Came back and got my pro card. I got 2
Yeah.
pro cards and 1 overall at the North Americans. Yeah,
Okay.
so I
Good
got my
stuff.
pro card and at 40 plus, my pro card in 45 plus, and I got an overall in 45. Yeah.
Nice. A lot of great master shows coming up too. So you're going to have a wide open choice. Puerto Rico. So if it's definitely probably not going to be this coming year, but are you thinking 2027 or just being
No,
played by ear?
I'm doing whatever it takes to step on stage in 2026. That's
Good for
my
you.
goal. And I feel like if I tell my students to set goals and have high achievements for themselves, I got to do the same. Doesn't mean I might step on stage in 2027. I'm not saying that might happen, but it won't be
Right.
because I was thinking 2027.
Right.
I'm thinking like my goal is 2026. I'm not putting a month on it, but I'm
Right.
definitely putting a year on it. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to step on stage, because one thing is I don't know what type of treatment I'm gonna have. I know it's chemo and radiation, but I don't know to what extent. There's different levels and different degrees of what that looks like.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure right now. So I might have it where I'm not as sick and I can still do what it takes to be on stage. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. And that's what I told my coach. It's like the goal is, no matter if I say, well, he's really good about mental, like
Right.
if I feel a certain way, but he knows what my ultimate goal is. He knows how to like center my mind so I can focus on what the goal is, but also be
Right.
considerate of what it is that I'm going through. So I need a coach that's going to be sensitive in some way, but then hard and reminding me what my goals are and stuff. So
Right.
I'm shooting for 2026. And if that is November, that's November. If it's December, I don't care where we flying, where we going.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, because it's like if you have a do whatever it takes attitude, it doesn't matter. You said you're gonna
Mhm.
accomplish it, and if the last show is December 16th, I don't know, whatever the date is, and we got to fly
Right.
to go to that show, I'm willing to do it to say I accomplished my goal, and I didn't let nothing stop me. You know, I don't
Right.
want nothing to stop me. So flying
Now
somewhere is not gonna stop me.
I got you. Who knows? You that the springboard you in, you keep on going. You know. So the one show, I don't know if it hit Masters or not. The one that was in November in Vegas. And do you like competing on the West Coast versus the East Coast, or you don't care?
I personally, well, because of my size, I find like I just do better in the East Coast. Like my
Okay.
my
Really? Okay.
my shape does better there. I feel like than the West Coast. So I'm not that I won't because I would do a West Coast show,
Right.
but before I became pro, I just always was successful on the East Coast, and on the West Coast, it was harder for me to win.
Mm.
Um, yeah, because
And that's typical. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just a regional thing, but it's all who shows up at the show as well. I mean, it has nothing to do with East Coast, West Coast, or anything. It's just how you show up. I know probably flying across country, do you find yourself dealing with water retention or doesn't really bother you? Or just key is to fly early?
I think the key is to fly earlier. I've never had to deal with it, but I always
Hmm.
go like like at least 4 days before the show is going to start. So
Gotcha.
to give my body a chance to acclimate to the water retention and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't had to, but I'm getting older and things are different. I'm 50 now.
And you
With my
still have
body.
your mom with you?
Hmm?
You still have your mother with you?
Oh yeah, my
Good.
mom and my dad both are still alive and stuff.
Bless.
Yeah,
Bless. Now, is your
thankful.
mom still lifting?
Not now. She had to take. She injured her back, so she had to take a break, and she can't lift. But yeah, she still lifts. Not
Good
not
deal.
at this moment, but yeah, because she knows. I mean, she she's able to take care of herself because of lifting. Lifting
Right.
helps us to
No question. No
yeah.
question. I hear it over and over again. Now, did you have any other siblings, or are you an only child, or?
No, I have. Well, my mom gave birth to four girls, and two of us are still living.
Mm.
So I have a sister. My sister, I'm 18 years older than her, so she's 32.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm
So she a
50.
baby.
She
Now, does
is.
she compete?
She doesn't work out. No. I'm home. I
Okay.
have a 21-year-old daughter. She won't work out either. So it's like I'm all.
Right. But there they get that high metabolism. They still can get it. But as you get older, it gets harder to get it off.
Well, my sister's 32 and she's like, I don't know, under 120. She's little.
Okay.
She's,
That's
she's
gotcha.
tiny, but one day it'll happen. They'll ask one day for
Yeah.
for me to show. I'm waiting for that day. I tell my sister I'm waiting for the day. She says, "Take me to the gym, and I'm gonna
Take
jump up."
Hey, they got to come to the show and they get the bug, and that's it.
Well, she has been to my show. My whole family's been to my shows because I started in California. All my shows were in
Right.
California
Right.
in the beginning. So now I'm only doing a California show if it's a warm up. Like I don't.
Hmm. Hmm.
I just prefer to go on the East Coast or even the South. I mean the South. I haven't done a show in the South, but I would love to do a show in the South as
Well, I'm in
well.
North Carolina. Let me know.
That's
You probably
that's
have to
that's
come to Atlanta. What else is down here? I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
Florida.
hoping Linda Murray opens up
Yep.
Masters 40 for at some point because she only does open, but I'm hoping she does
Really.
Masters 40. Yeah,
Well,
like if
let's
she
send her.
does, If she
Sitting
does
on
a
that.
Masters 40, I'm going to Atlanta for sure.
Okay, bet.
Like it's like I'm. It's one of the shows I've always wanted to do, and I never had an opportunity to
Right.
do. And I'm just waiting for her to open up 40, Masters 40. Might as well. Everyone's doing it because
Yep.
muscle contests. They're doing. It's going to be their first year. They're when they do the open in the summertime. They do open figure in the summer,
Mhm.
and they never do Masters 40. And this 2026 is going to be the first year they opened up Masters 40
Right.
for. So I'm hoping maybe she will too. Maybe some other
Hey.
ones that haven't will open up Masters 40 as well, because the reason why I'm shooting for 2026 is
Mhm.
because I want to go to Masters Olympia. Like
There
that's
you
my
go.
goal.
Yep.
And you don't you don't say, oh, I want to do this in 5 years. No, you say you want to do it and you figure out what it takes to get there. And yeah, so I would love to say I beat cancer and I made it to the Masters Olympia.
Yep. So
That's
it's
my goal.
already a great testimony that you have. It's a great story, and I'm so glad that you were able to come on and talk about it. And nothing but great things from here on out, no question. And the schedule's still sort of fluid, so I have no doubt there's going to be more Masters opportunity, and I'm praying that you're going to be able to do it this year.
That's what I'm praying for too. Well, not this year because we still in 2025, but
Well, you might well say 2020. We what 24 hours, man.
that's
Tomorrow's
true.
New Year's Eve.
But yeah, prayers are out. I have a group of my sisters, my figure sisters in the body world industry that I keep close knit, and I'm gonna watch them be successful, and they're gonna also help motivate me to have success as well. And we'll
100%.
see. We'll see. I might be shooting you a message saying, "Hey," showing you the
Hey,
picture.
please do. Hey, I want to know your progress regardless. Now that you reached out, we know the story. We're gonna tell it, and we're gonna definitely gonna feature it in the magazine as well. So yeah, now that we know, now everybody's gonna be cheering for you. I'm sure. Build up
Yeah,
your fan base because it's a human interest story that everyone's interested in. Because so many times people don't overcome things that happen, and when you see someone out there that overcomes something like you're going through and still compete, you're an inspiration to so many others. And motivates them as well.
yeah. I
I
want
gotta
to be
ask you though, why figure?
because I could never in the beginning I could never get small enough to do bikini.
Right.
I
And
couldn't
you
get.
couldn't get big enough for a women's physique.
I mean, and women's physique. There was a time I wanted to do women's physique.
Hmm.
There was a time I wanted to do women's physique, but I don't know what happened. Like I was going to do both figure and women's physique and see where I fit, like to see. And I think I love the there's something about the shoes that draws me in. Like once
Well,
because
you like having the shoes with
I didn't at
ease.
first. I hated having the shoes, and then Nicole Zenobia Graham, she was my posing coach for
Okay. Yep.
the year I got
No,
my pro
not her.
card.
Yep.
Yeah, the year I got my pro card, she was my posing coach, and she showed me how to be feminine on heels.
Hmm.
Of course, the conditioning as well too. But she was the first posing coach I had where she showed me moves that made me feel feminine. So I was like, wow, you can have these massive muscles and you can be feminine and it could be sexy. And she sold me. I was just like, man, I'm not switching. I love it.
Good deal.
I love the
Good
sexiness
deal.
and I could be a
Yep.
tomboy in 1 minute and then be sexy, put my heels
Yeah.
on and then the next. So I'm,
And
I'm
she's one of the great figure competitors. I got a new Miss Figure Olympia this year. What do you think about the figure division? You mentioned Zenobia. Anyone else out there inspire you?
um, Lola. She's my favorite.
Lola Montez. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I think she has an amazing body, and each year she steps on
She
stage,
does.
she definitely improves every year she's on stage. Her look improves, her movements improves, everything about
Mhm.
her is just like first place winner. So she's
Right.
definitely I always admire just her, her work ethics as far as the work
Right.
she puts in. So yeah, that's my girl, and of course Jessica.
Yeah,
Jessica.
Jessica Reyes Diaz.
Oh yeah, I love her too.
Yeah.
I love the fact that her journey is a little different than most, where she
Hmm.
competes year round. She puts herself out there,
She
and
really does.
she doesn't have to because she always comes in at the top. So she doesn't
Right.
have to, but she chooses to, compete year round. And I think it's a good thing to be able to see people at the Olympia level still come back and
Right.
and still
And fans
compete.
love that, and I do too. I mean, you get your top three qualification, you ain't got to do nothing for the whole year.
Hmm.
But the fact that she goes out there and competes, even Lola Montez last year when she was at the Pittsburgh Pro, and I love seeing that, because not everyone's going to be able to afford to go to the Olympia and see them. So when they
Yeah,
were competing out of season or during the season, other than the Olympia, it's great to see. And as fans, I love that. Oh, she froze. They were doing so well. We was getting ready to wrap it up anyway, but we'll give it a few moments. Uh, Great inspirational story, no question. Naomi Marshall, and I'm definitely going to continue to follow it. And I love the fact that she reached out and was able to tell it, and wishing her all the best. Like I said, we'll wait a couple more minutes here, see if we can get her back on, and we'll close it out. Want to wish everyone a happy holidays, happy New Year. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas. Uh, Thanks for so much of the support, the subscribers, those that have subscribed to the magazine, those that have subscribed to the newsletter, and those that have subscribed to the website. So when you do more, I can do more. And looking forward to this season. Now that the schedule's out, still fluid. Hopefully, we'll see the change to add more shows, especially in the women's division. It's the year of the fit model division that will be at the Olympia. So I'm excited as we follow that and see how we go into 2026. So many stories, so many headliners, and I love doing a human interest story like this. Now that we know Naomi is out there, and hey, we're gonna make this happen. See if she sent me a message here, and continue to follow her journey. And wish her all the best, and as she continues to fight through breast cancer, she had a successful surgery, no cancer found, and so I'm praying that that continues on the upbeat, and we see her in 2026. So inspirational story. So glad that she reached out, and for all those that you know follow her now, and hopefully pick up her fan base. Naomi Marshall, IFBB Figure Pro, and so glad to meet her um, over the airwaves, and hopefully one day meet her in person. But thanks so much, Naomi, for sharing your story. If you want to get you a copy of the Amazon's Fitness magazine, you simply go out and scan the barcode, go to amazonsfitmag.com, click on issues, and then you can order whichever issue you would like, such as Miss Olympia, Michelle Mensah. Looking forward to seeing her at the Arnolds. Naomi Fonseca, and so many issues that came out this year. And as I said, when you do more, I can do more. So subscribe and celebrate the female physique at amazonsfitmag.com. Again, I can't thank you all those that have supported me over this last year. And let's continue to do this. Travel schedule. I will be at the Arnold's kicking that off. And then you will see me at, of course, the Charlotte Pro. And then at Girl Power in Orlando on the 26th of April. So reach out, DM me, book a shoot. But right now, that's what I'm scheduled to travel around as we kick off the show and get everything started in 2026. Again, celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to AmazonsFitMag.com. We'll see you next time.